Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were worth the wait. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it slowly crept from the horizon to the place we met. Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Best thing that I'll ever know.
Oh, it's different now than I remember. From all the colors of September, we fall into that same honesty. Lately I buy more than I can swallow, and I've sealed these senses in a bottle. Then I wish we could go back that way. Hang on, darling, these memories like mending a broken room in our hands, but still out of touch. Think I've forgotten how to dream without you. A part of me, my sweet Constantine. It ain't a secret anymore since you walked through those doors.